Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chip Champions. We're so excited to talk to people building in the AI and no code space. And what better person to have on here than the godfather of no code teaching? It's Max Haining, all the way from the UK. How are you, Max?
Yeah, all good. Thanks so much for that delightful intro, Scott. I didn't know I was the Godfather, but I'll take it.
Yeah, at least of teaching it, because you've been running 100 days of no code and you now run 100 days of AI, which are courses people can take through email to do projects along the way. Why did you start this, and why do you think it's important for people to do projects with these tools?
Yeah, good question. I think at a baseline one, people find it very scary, especially if they're coming from a super non-technical background, and they kind of see these tools and they can do all these things, but really they don't connect the tools to something they feel like they can actually do themselves. So we or me, being one of those people a couple of years back, feeling super overwhelmed by all these kind of tools, but also equally excited by them. I kind of wanted to bridge the gap for people that were kind of seeing this end point, but didn't quite know how to actually leverage all the kind of the tools that we're kind of seeing day in day out. So yeah, I created a bridge which essentially teaches people how to learn no code and AI skills in 30 minutes a day. And it kind of does so in a way where you're building mini projects every day, building your confidence, and then you get to a point where you can start applying it to your everyday life and work and business. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
That's amazing. Well, and I think a lot of times with building, we think about building a company, right? But as you've talked to me in the past, a lot of these people are building things for agencies, for maybe personal life. So, what are some of the unique cases you found people using no code and maybe now AI for?
Yeah, so one of the, as you say, like, of course, entrepreneur, creator, maker, builder, hacker, that's the profile that everyone associates no code with. And it's a great profile. And there's lots of hackers and doers and builders that leverage no code to build their ideas. Great. But also, I think people underestimate all the other shiny paths that you can take when you learn those skills. So it's not just you're unlocking the ability to bring your ideas to life, but no code and AI actually unlock multiple other pathways that can create you revenue, create you opportunities and connections that you wouldn't have otherwise. So, for example, you can become a freelancer, you can become an agency builder, teaching others, or at least building these applications for other people just like yourself. You also can just apply this stuff literally in your work, in your everyday life. So it doesn't need to be this big, grandiose thing that is attached to these skills. They can just have an impact, small or big, in your everyday life as well.
That's amazing. Well, and you recently started 100 Days of AI and 100daysai.com. And one thing that I'm fascinated by is how
Mm.
AI might be across all tools rather than a tool. So I'm curious how you see this, having done no code for a long time. Do you see AI now creeping into all of those tools you've taught previously? Or is it like lesson five and we get to AI, at a certain point and then we learn AI? How do you kind of see that evolving?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. So there's kind of a difference, right, between baking AI into the product that you're building and then um, leveraging AI to help you build faster. That doesn't sound very different, but those are kind of two different things. And with a lot of the no-code tools, but also a lot of the AI tools, they kind of bring this co-pilot into the tool whereby as you're building, you kind of have a little chat with this person or this little interface where you say, hey, could you just like help me with the color or the palette of my application? Or, oh, actually, could you just help me build that page element that I didn't quite know how to build based on my experience? Great. And then it will build it for you. And then you kind of customize and inject a little bit of personalization, go back to your copilot. So a lot of the tools now are integrating AI into how you build, which is making it even more accessible, faster, and easier than ever. So the kind of the barrier to build is just getting lower and lower and lower, which is great for us. So
So, last question. What would you tell someone who's on the fence, thinking about dipping their toe in the waters of building? Why is now the right time?
I think I think there's this saying like master it before it masters you, whereby yeah, which is a way of kind of thinking like um, AI and these kind of no-code tools are inevitable in the sense of they will slowly become more or integrated into our everyday lives anyway. So why not leverage or start leveraging them now, whether that's to build your own idea or any of the other stuff we've talked about today. So get ahead of the curve, start feeling all the time saving, creative, and kind of just life enhancing sort of benefits of these tools. And then you'll be, yeah, way ahead of the curve.
That's amazing. Well, the hardest thing about learning something new is actually putting it into action, and that's what I love about what Max does is you have projects and you have people that you're learning with, even if it's virtual. So definitely check it out at 100 Days of No Code. It's the number 100, and then 100 Days AI. So number 100 without the of. Check both of those out. And then Max also has a course going on Maven here in early November. So you can go to maven.com to find that. Max, keep building, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.